Hey everyone, it's Xander.
Oh, sorry, you got me in mid-drink. I was drinking something. It was ImperialSalsa.
It's alcohol, isn't it?
No, it's actually Mountain Dew.
Huh. Alright. So, we've been putting this off, and by we, I mean me, because he bugs me. The last time we tried to do this, this guy passed out on me, though, so, not from lack of trying, at least. We attempted this earlier, it didn't work out, now we're doing it. Welcome to podcast number 2. Today's topic is Pokemon.
Oh, that's cool. It put subtitles on when I turned the volume down on my TV.
It's going to be a long podcast.
It's always a long one. Last one was long, but I liked it, the last one. So we're talking about Pokemon. Where do you want to start? We didn't really talk about this prior to actually doing this.
Right. I'm figuring the way we should do this. I've put some thought into this, even though I haven't talked to you about it. We should talk first about the games, then the anime, and then all the merchandising that's gone along with it. I know the games count as merchandising, but they're kind of a separate thing.
Separate entity. Okay.
So, Pokemon. We remember when Red and Blue came out. I remember these games being sold out in the stores. I remember seeing, Pokemon at the time was, aside from Dragon Ball Z, the most hardcore Japanese thing I had seen. It was this very strange thing with these weird-looking creatures, with these superpowers. It was a very, very foreign experience.
Do you write this stuff down?
No, this is all off the top of my head.
Oh, I see. I think Pokemon is something. I think it was a good introduction as a kid to what the Japanese culture was starting to really kind of put in place. And mind you, Pokemon wasn't the first thing. You know, you had Final Fantasy and everything else that was going on prior to that with the NES. But Pokemon was like the first thing is our generation. Again, this is almost like an old piece. Again, we're talking about our generation here, but where it was this awesome introduction to what I think the Japanese culture was all about. And it was like, this was pre-internet. Well, I mean, the internet was in its infancies, if you remember, you know? So,
I remember you making a Pokemon webpage.
Yeah.
Oh god, what were some of the free hosting sites back then? Angel Fire or something?
Homestead.com. I remember Homestead.com.
Oh man.
But I always had Pokemon Red. I was a Pokemon Red guy.
He went with Red, I went with Blue, so naturally we ended up trading and getting all 150, and that's the only time we've ever, actually 151 because you got Mew, but that's the only time we've ever done that. Because then you got Silver and Gold that came out, and then Ruby and Sapphire, the Diamond and Pearl, Black and White 2, and now we're up to X and Y, which is kind of why we're doing this, because just seeing how things have changed. And I can tell you right now, we are never getting all whatever there is of them anymore.
Oh, I think it's next to impossible. I just don't see it happening. I thought 151 was it took forever. It felt like it took forever anyway.
It did. And it was smart marketing on their part. I can't deny that. But I still hate them for it.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. No, what I thought was neat is...
Make me go out and socialize, will you?
I didn't think there was a lot of socializing with Pokemon anyway, but... what I thought was neat is the starter Pokemon were that's the most distinct way of describing the types of Pokemon in the game. Plus there were other types, but... I mean, that was I think they got it right the first get-go. I think the first 150 are the best ones that they've ever made. I don't know.
I don't think we should necessarily wait, just remember, these are what we personally think. We're not saying them as facts. So please don't blame us to hell and back over our preferences.
Shit.
I don't even know what my favorites are. Obviously, the first 150 are extremely nostalgic for us, but I don't even know which ones are the best. Sadly, I think the second generation, Gold and Silver, is probably the most forgettable.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think it was the post hangover when it came to Pokemon, and people have been using it so much. And I might be wrong. Gold and Silver, people who probably.
I mean,
probably
it was great at the time, but now that we're all these other generations, you mentioned Cyndaquil, they'll be like, Cinda what? You know? Like, getting back to X and Y, they've done this thing, alright. Of course you got, the new generation starters. Then you can pick one of the first generation starters, because they all have their own Mega Evolutions and all that crap. Yep. And there's also a code in there that you can get for the mystery gift option. It lets you get a Torchic.
Yep, I got all 3, actually.
We completely skip over Generation 2.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they did the mystery gift. I don't mind the retro generation with Charizard and everything else, but Charmander. Sorry, Charmander. But I don't know why they skipped over any of the other ones. I don't even remember half of the ones. But getting back to the red-blue generation, I thought was the strangest thing is we started with those, and then they still kept on coming out with ones. They came out with green and yellow, and no one really talks about those.
Oh man, green. There's a lot. I'll just mention this now. There's a lot of differences between what we got in the West and what they started with in Japan. Because in Japan, it was, I think, green and red that they started with.
Yep.
There's a guy, I can't remember what his YouTube name is, but he does lots and lots of information on this kind of stuff. All sorts of trivia knowledge and just detailed analyzing and crap on YouTube. Jay something, I think? I don't remember. Anyways, I just want to throw that out there before someone, again, shoot our asses out over this. We're aware that there are differences, but we don't know them by heart.
Oh, yeah, God, this is a fan aspect, but you're afraid of the people lashing back at you, huh? Is that what's going on here?
More like I don't want to lose what few subscribers I have.
Yeah, well, it's been growing. I think that's partly because of me, but I just say,
I don't care why it grows as long as it does, but that's off topic. Yeah. So, oh god, well, yeah, I don't remember much about green, but yellow, oh man, I of course had to get that one, because we were both really into the anime, so of course they released yellow, which lets you basically play out the anime to a degree. You start off with Pikachu, which is terrible since the first gym you come up on is a rock and ground gym, and Pikachu's completely worthless there.
Yeah,
and there's no, cheap-ass temporary power-up for your Pikachu in the game. You can't run on a damn water wheel and charge Pikachu up with electricity for one good heart attack on a Geodude. I still remember that episode.
He always does that. There's an episode all the time. There's one episode where he gets charged with lightning and becomes a shield.
I was about to say the biggest ass pull was the lightning armor. Yeah, against the twins.
Yellow is not memorable to me at all. And the only reason Yellow was not memorable is, number one, Pikachu's awesome. I understand why everyone likes him, but he wasn't that important to me. I didn't really see the importance. He's an okay Pokemon. He's got good speed, and people like him because he's cute, and everyone uses him.
That's exactly it. He's cute.
And but I thought Yellow was just kind of that was a cash.
Yellow was a cash-in on the anime.
Yeah,
I won't deny it.
It had to be. He had the Pokemon.
But the other nice thing about Yellow is that was the only game where you could get the 3 starters without having to trade a bunch of crap.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was the biggest draw for Yellow, is you also got Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. Bulbasaur was in the care of a lady, and once Pikachu really, really liked you, because your faction with Pikachu grew throughout the game. So as long as Pikachu... I'm trying to talk too fast. As long as Pikachu really liked you, you got Bulbasaur. I don't remember how you got Charmander. Squirtle, I think, Officer G just gives you.
Here, take it. Take it. I don't want it. I don't know what this thing is.
It was basically the thing's causing trouble, but you look like a respectable trainer. Here you go.
Oh, man.
I also don't remember at what point you get those. I don't remember if you get them before or after, Pewter City.
Pewter City. God. I thought the first gym was just the funniest to me. Because, like, you see Brock in it, and you're like, oh, look, there's Brock. And then he just dies. It's just useless. But I always picked fire. I was a Charmander guy.
Exactly. To this day, my starter, even when I get X and Y and knowing I'll get a free Torchic, I'm still going to pick the fire starter for Gen 6.
Yep. I actually picked the water one on X this time, and then I picked Charmander so I could have a balance. So I have there's a Pikachu at the beginning, spoilers to anyone, at X and Y that you can find in the forest. You just have to keep on going around. It's not too rare. It's okay. But I got a Pikachu, I got a Charmander, I got the Torchic, I got the damn water Pokemon that starts. It's like a frog. Yeah, Froakie, but he's all evolved now. But and I put about 20 hours in so far.
Yeah, I've heard. I got a friend that's been playing. I think he's up to like 14 hours. Only has 2 badges.
Yeah, it's slow, and it's surprising because it felt like you got through 3 or 4 badges in the same amount of time. With the older generations. But yeah, it's 14, 15 hours. I'm going to the 3rd gym, and I'm not leveled at all to that, so I have to, I'm going to have to build my characters up. But another thing that changed between Pokemon, I got to get this off my back, because I know Penny Arcade kind of talked about it too in their comic. You can share XP in this goddamn game. So Pokemon Red, if you wanted to level up all your characters, what did you have to do? You had to put one character in there and then switch it over, and then take a hit, and then kill the other Pokemon, or hurt or faint. I'm sorry.
Right. I remember. Yeah, because that was like the only way to make a level up Magikarp and turn it into Gyarados.
Yeah, that Magikarp was useless. Now you get an item early on in the game, and I'm talking early. And you turn this damn thing on, and everyone gets a share of that XP. And okay, it's not.
Hasn't this already been in the other games? There's always been an EXP share.
Has there? I don't think so. Well, maybe I'm wrong or something, because I thought that was the first time they showed that.
Okay, I thought you meant they revised it for X and Y.
No,
I don't even have X or Y yet, so all the information I get is secondhand.
Yeah, this XP share is ridiculous. And it was
broken the first game because I think it shared it with all of your Pokemon, and then it became a hold item in the later generations, and then it was just split between the Pokemon that fought and whoever had the XP share on them.
Yep, and it's everyone on this except the ones in your box, of course. Huh. But yeah, you can literally you get a. Oh god, not a Weedle, but the next form up.
Cocoon.
Cocoon or whatever. And the only thing it knows is frickin' Harden.
Just like Metapod only knows Harden.
Yeah, and you just stick it in your group and you keep on beating people, eventually it just levels up. You don't have to worry about it. It's like...
At least with Cocoon and Metapod, they don't take long to level up.
No, they don't, but, it was in Red and Blue, it seemed like it was such a task, and it felt like you actually succeeded at something once you actually leveled them up. In this, you could play with one Pokemon and essentially go throughout the entire game.
Hey, that's exactly how I played Blue my first time. Choose Charmander and everything. It took a long... I'll tell you what, my Charizard was a beast by the end of that game. Maxed out on this level because that was the only thing I used on Brock. And fire against ground and water is not a good idea, but at least it does a little bit of damage.
Now, what I think is awesome, too, on Pokemon X, is they actually... X and Y. I picked Pokemon X, but... X and Y...
I'll begin Y.
They actually show you the EV points. The actual stat points. Because there's always been those hidden stat points that each thing's been associated with, if it has a high attack, high speed. And now you can actually super train your Pokemon based on what you want to improve on. So, like, if you want Charizard to have a really high special attack, because he's got some cool dragon or fire things, you do that. So that's neat, and that's something that's been a welcome.
Basically, direct the stats instead of them just being evenly distributed.
Yeah. That's mostly a competitive thing. If someone's actually going to play competitively, which if you're out there that plays competitively, and I know there's a lot of people that are out there, I don't know how you do it, but
all right. So I think it'd be a good idea to talk about like what the games have added as they've gone along. Brendan, what do you think?
Yeah,
Alright,
so you look at the
Red and Blue was our starting point. Red and Blue, the very idea of Pokemon itself was new because when you think of an RPG, you think of you have your starting team. You think of like Final Fantasy basically, and something like that. But this introduced the idea of you had to beat up the enemies and then capture them, which I hadn't seen anything like that at the time. I don't know about you.
No, there was some Game Boy games that were out there, like, there was this robot game where you had to collect pieces for the robot, and you improved your robot, and you fought them with other robots.
I remember that. I borrowed that from you.
Yeah, that was
there
like...
was always that little punk-ass kid that walked around the neighborhood and kicked my ass.
I love that game. But those games were, that's right around the same time as Pokemon. A lot of the stuff influenced it. So, I mean, it's never been... I wouldn't say Pokemon is the first one to do that kind of stuff, of course, but I think it's definitely the one that did it the best.
That drew a lot of attention to the
area.
And then we had Gold and Silver, which introduced the idea of the acorns and berries and the different Pokeball types.
Yep.
Outside of, just normal, great Ultra Master. And it also introduced the idea of time, real-life time affecting the game, the day and night cycle.
Yep, the day and night cycle, playing it at night, so you can get Pokemon that only wake up at night. Another thing is that the daycare was introduced in the later generations.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's Gen 3 or Gen 2, I can't remember.
Gen 2.
And that was something that was...
It was actually, I think, in the first game, but it also became a breeding center in Gen 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, it's amazing how many things Gold and Silver added, and yet they're just forgotten about, basically. At least to me.
It is. I don't think a lot of people talk about it like they talk about Red and Blue. I mean, it's a redneck stepchild of Pokemon.
I don't know. I think an even more forgettable is Ruby and Sapphire. I forgot those even existed. I forgot I even played one of them. I can't even tell you which version of that I even owned anymore.
No, me either. I think I have Sapphire.
It's just like a haze in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, there was a Ruby and Sapphire that I barely remember playing.
I think the Sapphire's got a whale on it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the Sapphire was, I can't remember their names by this point. Kyogre, I think, was the whale, and Groudon was this, like, dinosaur thing. Basically, the god of the ocean and the god of the land is what was implied.
But a lot of it,
And then you had Emerald that came out, and that... I don't remember how to pronounce that thing's name. It starts with an R.
I don't know.
You fight it as a boss in a Smash Brothers Brawl, actually.
Smash Brothers. I love Smash Brothers.
God, I'm not even sure what Ruby and Sapphire really introduced. It was interesting that, I think that game really dealt with making a real difference in the storylines that you played. Like which specialty you would get.
Yeah.
Like, in both Red and Blue and Gold and Silver, you could get all the legendaries. They weren't exclusive. Starting with Ruby and Sapphire, they started making your legendaries exclusive to the type.
Well done.
And then, oh shoot, I don't know what else that game really added.
Welcome back.
At some point along the lines, they added dive and being able to explore underwater. And I think it was introduced, it was there for sure by Ruby and Sapphire, but I don't know if it was in Gold and Silver.
Do you remember, to go back to Pokemon Red and Blue, Do you remember all the little glitches and rumors, like Azurill, the little blue Pikachu-looking motherfucker?
Yeah, that one.
Do you remember there was that rumor that was in the game, in Pokemon Red and Blue? And how
I don't remember the rumor about it being in the game. I remember the rumor that it was going to be one of Pikachu's evolutions.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that one too. But I remember it being in the game. You had a certain thing you had to do, like 20 different steps, and it never worked. It never worked. And it was like Mew too. Mew. You had all these steps you had to get Mew, and it never ever worked. There's only like one true way of doing it, and I know a lot of YouTube videos have actually shown how to do it. But and you got to trick the system into basically giving it to you. But which I think was so stupid. That they never included Mew officially. They always. I don't.
One of those things they do to screw with you and make you like attend official events and crap like that.
No, but he's never been in any other game. He's never been available besides Fire Red. When they redid Red and Blue and everything else. He was available in those. I know that, but that's like that was such a craving. I remember just thinking about that. I just wanted that Pokemon. It was like that was it. I got everything else. Why the hell can I not get Mew? And this was with Game Shark that was still going in place and everything. I love Game Shark. God bless Game Shark. Is Game Shark still around?
I have no idea.
There's no way it can be. There's no.
It'd be incredibly difficult to use it with systems today, I think. Anyways, the only real glitch I remember, and everyone knows this one, Missing No.
Missing No, yep.
We have used that glitch like, well, you know. That glitch, oh my god, you showed me that, and how it would duplicate your items if they were in the right slot. And all of a sudden, I've got all these rare candies, and I don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, you're like leveling people up like crazy. Pokemon are growing a third leg because you mutated him so much. It's PETA's calling you about it. No, it was I love that. I love that glitch. I remember discovering it, and I didn't read anything about it on the internet, mind you. I didn't, the internet, like I said, it was still a little iffy about where you could go. There was a Wikipedia.
I think oh god, what was it? Cheats and Tricks, the old magazine, I think, had how to get Missing No in it.
I discovered it without that stuff, though. I discovered it.
Yeah, back then you pretty much had to. Unless you read Nintendo Power or something, and even then, I don't think Nintendo Power knew about it at the time.
I discovered it on my own, on accident, and I actually showed you, but I remember calling the Nintendo hotline, because God bless, that thing's still around, and I remember calling them saying I thought I discovered a new Pokemon, like it would just magically appear, there would be this new Pokemon no one knew about, and it's like I was trying to inform them that the frickin' game was breeding or something, memories. I still have my game. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I've seen, I like to, sell stuff. He does not. He usually keeps a lot of stuff, and I've seen his collections.
Yeah, I'm a hoarder. I'm a hoarder of nice stuff. I like my stuff. It's not my fault.
Alright, getting back on track.
No.
Yes, Ruby and Sapphire, I'm pretty sure that's where they introduced Dive. Then you had, Diamond and Pearl.
Oh god.
And Diamond and Pearl is when I really started, really getting back into Pokemon, and I think there was a long gap between Ruby and Sapphire and Diamond and Pearl.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a considerable gap.
And then a gap between Diamond and Pearl and Black and White. And now it's like every year they're releasing something, because last year Black and White 2 came out, now we've got X and Y, and I'm sure something will be out next year as well.
No, I think there's been a little bit more of a revitalization of the the product. I think people are, especially our age, are getting right back into it.
Well, I've seen this one webcomic produced by someone goes by Awkward Zombie, I think. And she describes basically the process of the Pokemon fandom. When we were little kids, everyone was into Pokemon. When we entered high school, we secretly played it and didn't talk about it. When we hit college, everyone loves Pokemon again. And I'm like, yep, that's exactly how it worked.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't have to really be afraid of liking certain things in college, high school, you had to worry about it. I remember, do you remember junior high? We had our own Elite Four table. Do you remember that?
I don't.
And we had our own table, we were playing all kinds of Pokemon, and we were just super good at it. We always battled each other with the Game Boys. You don't remember that at all?
I must have not been with that group.
You were, man. You were with us.
I try to forget most of junior high and high school.
You remember? Because it was a table right, where the dishes were being on the downstairs in the junior high. It was on that table right there. We used to play the card game and we used to play the Game Boy game.
Oh man, you remember better than I do. I honestly don't remember.
You remember names of Metroid games and everything else, but you cannot remember memories like that.
Yes. I remember trivia knowledge, but I told you I try to block out memories from school.
Yeah, well.
Painful memories.
Yeah, they weren't. I didn't like school either, so.
I'm trying to think, what did Diamond and Pearl really add to the series?
I think a lot of the online component got better, if I remember correctly, with Diamond and Pearl, which I think is not too crazy. I mean, if you look at it, at all the games, starting from Red and Blue, and then eventually Green, and then stupid Yellow, because God knows everyone loved it, that formula has not changed. You still battle Pokemon, you still get Pokemon with different Pokeballs, and you still a 10-year-old boy, which I wish you could do age, because I'm really tired of being a 10-year-old boy in these games. I feel weird. And that's another thing too. The girl that's your friend, you still kind of compete with her. There's no competition anymore. You're not facing Gary. It's you're
right.
The friends, and you're just gonna battle because you're friends.
I noticed that big time. Oh god, I don't even remember your rival from Ruby and Sapphire. I remember your rival in Gold and Silver was a dick.
Yeah.
I mean, you thought Gary was bad. Gary at least loved his Pokemon. Your rival was an asshole that broke into your professor's lab and jacked a Pokemon and ran off with it.
Yeah, he burglarized. He's right. He was a stalker. It's not even fair anymore.
Although, here's something I have heard about X and Y that I like. The evil team in it, team whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Hardcore evil from what I hear.
Yeah,
like every last one of them, they're not just pay crooks. These guys, they're evil.
I was hoping to see a Team Rocket, but I guess Team Rocket is no longer Team Rocket.
Yeah, Team Rocket's been gone since Gold and Silver even. They tried to revive Team Rocket and it didn't really work.
Why? I love Team Rocket. They're so cool. They're neat.
And then, oh god, Ruby and Sapphire gave you Aqua and Magma. Diamond and Pearl gave you, I think it was Team Galactic.
Team Galactic. Oh god, these names get worse and worse as years go by.
But then we had the last generation with Team Plasma. You want your PETA group, Team Plasma.
The worst thing I think is this new group in X and Y. I think it's all about fashion or something. I can't remember how they're dressed. It's something stupid.
So I'm kind of expecting that they murder Pokemon and use their fur coats to make their clothes.
Yeah, it could be PETA. It's PETA right there. But talking about other games, not just the Pokemon games, talking about the the side games. You remember Pokemon Pinball?
I was wanting to get into that. Yeah, I loved Pokemon Pinball.
Oh my god, it was so good. It had the Rumble Pack. Remember the Rumble Pack?
Yes. There was a little AA battery you added into the cartridge to make it vibrate every time the little digital pinball went crazy and stuff. And
I love that game.
You caught all 150 Pokemon in that too. I never managed to do it, but you could. Because you gotta be like ungodly good at pinball, and I'm decent, but I'm not that good. And then there was Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Coliseum. There was a Tetris Attack version of Pokemon.
Oh lord!
Which I meant to say this way back at the beginning, but that's probably what most of my footage is going to be, a Pokemon Puzzle League, because I don't have any of the Pokemon games I can easily record besides that.
You don't have Pokemon Snap?
No, I don't. I don't have that. I should probably download. I could download that, and it'd be more interesting to play through.
I love Pokemon Snap. Do you... Okay.
I wish there were more games like that, because it was such an interesting idea, and
you had
different at its time.
You had Hey You Pikachu.
I was about to mention that stupid thing, too. Yes.
I remember you like, hey... came over and you were like, hey, check this out, I can talk to Pikachu. And you're like... And then you said something, and then 20 minutes later, because you were repeating yourself, he finally did it.
Yeah. Voice recognition technology with these games is still really nowhere near being good.
No.
I thought there was another game, it may only be out in Japan. This, I think, they were supposed to bring over with, like, the PS3 or something. But it was supposed to be like two detective girls that you like help solve cases or something with by talking to them, being like, investigate here, go there, watch out, warn them or something. And I just barely remember anything about that trailer, but I've never actually seen that game.
I know what you're talking about, and I don't remember if it ever came out or not. There was wasn't there a game where you took photos inside this like Japanese house, and you had to look at the photos to figure out the ghost or something?
Yeah, Fatal Frame.
Fatal Frame, that's right. Fatal Frame.
Yeah, I never did get into that. I'm not much of a horror game person, but I got a friend that played that all the time.
Yeah, you're not much of a horror person, but you played Let's Plays for Silent Hill.
Because I got pressured into it.
It's like, the last boss that you play, it just made me laugh. The game was so... I know it's good, but it looks so bad. Compared to this generation.
Like, yeah, it came out on the PS1.
But Pokemon Snap was the coolest freaking game, and the reason is it had a agreement with Blockbuster, and you could take your memory card from the N64, plug it into the kiosk at Blockbuster, and get stickers of your photos that you took.
Right.
From that. I did that like 900 times. It was the greatest thing ever. And I wish I could find that kiosk. I would buy that damn kiosk. I got enough money now.
Great investment there. Anyways, what other side games were... Oh god, they've been releasing like the Mystery Dungeon games. I've never played those. Have you?
No, and I don't have any desire to do that.
What about the Pokemon Ranger games? Because I know that was another one that came out.
Not played those either. I don't know anything about them, to be honest.
Alright, so for anyone watching this, tell us how the Mystery Dungeon and Ranger games are, because we know nothing about that.
I think you control the Pokemon, don't you? Aren't you?
I'm pretty sure you do, yeah.
That is... Look, Pokemon are slaves, okay? So, no. That's just a no. People like, Pokemon are not slaves. Pokemon are your friends, okay? You take care of those Pokemon. You capture them, and then you put them in a little ball, and then they stay in there until you battle them with other Pokemon. They're your friends.
Pokemon has questionable ethics.
A little bit, slightly. The robot, you think of a robot, it doesn't really have, like the robot game we're talking about. I'm gonna have to find out what that name of that damn game is now.
Super Robot Wars, I'm just throwing that out there. It's probably not it.
But that robot, has no feelings. There's no pain. He just does his thing. Frickin' Pokemon, they're real things. They breed and shit. So Speaking of which, how does a Pokemon get into a Pokeball? What's the technology in that? Have they ever explained that?
Oh my god.
Have they ever explained that?
Pseudoscience. Science. That's how it works.
If you think about like the computers, are they digital beings? Even though they can breed, because they can go into a computer.
Porygon's the only one that's really like that. Porygon, if I remember right, according to the lore, was artificially created, kind of like Mewtwo.
Yeah, but all the Pokemon will go into the computers anymore, because you always have a computer in every Pokemon.
Oh, the storage. Well, the storage system. I always view it like I did whenever they showed it at on the anime, where it just kind of gets sent to some dude or some person, and they just kind of keep them happy in some kind of ranch area. That's
yeah, like the doctor, the
Professor Oak.
Yeah, Professor Oak.
And, I guess.
You were close.
Want to talk about the anime now?
Yeah, is Brock?
We've been shifting towards that.
Is Brock a pervert or not? I'm pretty sure
Brock is a very lonely man.
I think he's a pedophile. I just want to throw that out there.
I think he's a hopeless romantic.
He's an older gentleman. He's always going for like younger ladies. So I think something's not right there.
No, he goes for anything that's attractive and female, and not currently one of his traveling companions. Because he never hit on Misty or May.
Yeah.
Or was there anyone? Or Dawn? Yeah, I knew there was another one that he was there for.
And then Ash.
Ash is just clueless. Ash pulls more victories and magic out of his ass than any other character I think I've seen.
Yeah, but he always loses. He always loses.
And you know why they do that, right? It's to keep the series going, to keep people hyped about what the next region is. Most of the time, when he gets his ass kicked, it's by something from the next area. Aside from, like, the first generation.
I think the company that does the Pokemon anime will kill him before they give him a championship. I guarantee
The only place he won was the Orange Islands competition, and that's because that was just a little side area that didn't even exist in the games.
Yeah.
So the only place he can win is someplace that's not even canon to the games.
I'm telling you, they will kill him off before. Like, he'll be about to win, and then a bullet will just go through. You won't. It'll be a sniper. No one knows.
It'll be Team Rocket finally sick of him. And one will be saying, why didn't we do this like 458 episodes ago?
I don't know why no one's even learned about, like, anesthesia or something like that. Just freaking, that would have helped Pikachu. You just, stick him with.
From what I hear, starting with Black and White, even towards the end of Diamond and Pearl season, Team Rocket started getting serious. By Black and White, they weren't, like, just a joke anymore. Like, they legitimately, like, they still lost in a fight to Ash and that, but they, like, smoke bombed and escaped. There was no Team Rocket is blasting off again. It's Team Rocket is getting the hell out of here before that happens.
I think Team Rocket was scary early on, and then they just turned into a joke.
Right.
I think that was it, because I remember Team Rocket actually being like this legit, and then it was like, oh, okay, we're just gonna blow him up. And the damn cat, that Meowth?
Meowth, yeah.
No cat should talk. Because that's exactly what I think my
so
cat would talk.
basically what you're saying is, I'm never gonna get you into Fairy Tail.
I'm trying, I've watched it.
Because Happy constantly talks.
I know.
He's not a cat, though, because
I know you're talking.
you'll find out what he is if you keep up with it.
Yeah. But that's exactly the way I think my cat would talk, because the anime ruined me. and I look at the cat like it's evil, because it is evil, regardless.
Well, that's your cat. That's a little bit different.
Look, damn. It's sleeping right now like it doesn't know I'm talking about it. I'm looking at it right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're evil. You're evil. But you know what I always wondered is, you don't really face Misty in the anime. Ash never really faced Misty. Ash faced her sisters, and like in the game, you faced her.
Yeah, there's little discrepancies like that throughout the game and between the game and the anime. I'm trying to think what are some other really noticeable ones. I'm sure like what Pokemon have what lineups is different. Obviously in the anime, Ashner faces Giovanni. He gets stuck fighting Team Rocket. Yeah. And the Pokemon they're given, I'm not even sure if you fight those in the actual game or not.
You know what? And it's bullshit, because the anime, I swear to God, Pokemon know more than 4 moves. And goddamn it, the game, you only know 4 goddamn moves. So...
Yeah, I can't argue with that at all.
Like Pikachu, he just does whatever he wants. Yeah, use Bubble Beam. Yeah, you got it. I don't care. Whatever. Headbutt the guy. Okay, headbutt him. Now scratch him. Quick attack. Oh, just throw up a lightning armor. Do whatever you want. Whatever. Just shiv him. Shiv him with a knife you made.
I would love to see that.
You can see Pikachu getting a toothbrush and chiseling it down to a point, and then cutting a bitch. That's what I see Pikachu. I see him in a bandana.
I guarantee there's fan fiction or fan art of that happening by now.
There's fan fiction of Pikachu with a bandana, a tattoo of a thing that says "Mom," and him shaving down a toothpick or a toothbrush to a point. Whoever can draw that, please send that to me. Whatever you do, just
they might do it, because I've had fan art of someone drawing Fisk getting stabbed in the chest. I've got some interesting fans.
Oh, fan art. I still don't even have a drawing of myself because you're lazy.
Yeah. I've been lazy. I
don't know what kind of...
I haven't even edited any Dragon Quest parts lately.
No, you haven't.
I've got like half of one edited, and another new enemy came up, and just that night I said, no, screw this, I'm done writing up stats, I'm done.
You know what I like the most?
I started playing Group World 3 again.
You started the first one after you got the PS2 Slim. You're like, yeah, I got this PS2 Slim from ImperialSalsa, blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's shitty, but yeah, I got it. Yeah, blah blah blah. It's like, I appreciate the throw out there to me. You're like, fuck him, but yeah, I got it.
I didn't say it was bad. I wasn't until like 10 minutes in that I noticed it was lagging on loading times, okay? And for the record, when I only got like 2 episodes recorded after the current batch, the 2 that I'm working on editing of right now, I had to do those on the bulky PS2 because the damn Slim model would not read the disc that day. Apparently he got pissed off at me talking smack about it.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
And this has nothing to do with Pokemon.
No, not at all. I don't.
Getting back on track here, the anime.
Oh god. You know what I remember the most? I remember the cartoons coming out and us watching the cartoons every freaking time after class. I used to take the bus to home because it was faster than my parents getting home, taking me home. And so we had that enough time where we could see all our episodes of Dragon Ball Z, Pokemon, and stuff.
I was gonna say, I remember we did that for Dragon Ball Z, but Pokemon, if I remember right, at least through junior high, was always on before school.
Oh, was it?
I would wake up,
That's right.
eat breakfast,
That's right. It was like 7
watch
o'clock.
the anime, and then go to school.
There was at least 2 episodes on.
And then at some point, like I think in 8th grade, Kids WB got their hands on the series, and that's when the new episodes started coming out, and it was only on Saturdays.
Oh my god, I remember that.
And I think they did like 2 episodes sometimes.
I remember recording it on VHS. I always had to set the recorder because it started like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I've never been an early riser at all.
I used to be, if you can believe it.
Yeah. And,
man, has that changed.
I always remember sleeping and hearing the VHS start, because I always had it recorded for that time. But, but what I remember more than the anime, the episodes, is the first movie. That is a hardcore, awesome movie. Like, I remember going to the small theater that we have near us, and
Yep.
it's shitty now. It's completely run down, but. And I remember the mounds and mounds of children. And for me, I'd probably have a heart attack now as an adult. But I remember battling people. And I had my Mew, and I was like, fuck you. I'm going to battle you with my Mew, you piece of crap. But I remember when the movie came on, and it was awesome. It's like nothing I've ever seen before on the big screen.
Yeah, they really took it to the next level when they did that first movie. Of course, now there have been so many damn movies made.
There's some sort of, morality thing about cloning Pokemon. Like, we talk about cloning humans and stuff. Like, Mew got cloned 1,000 different times. And there's a very possibility that there's more than one Mewtwo. A lot of the newer games, Pokemon X, I think, actually refers to it as more than one Pokemon. So it's very possible there's more than one. But, and there's more than one Legendaries. There's a rumor floating around that
I definitely know there's more than one Lugia.
Yeah. There's a, they talk about it, how they reference it in the games now. But, Mewtwo, clones all those damn Pokemon. He's got all the different Pokemon, and they all had different spots. Like, they had a spotted Charizard.
Yeah, alternate patterns and stuff.
Why wasn't that in the game? That would have been awesome, having alternate patterns.
Because they didn't think that far ahead.
Now, the thing is, they introduced some of that stuff, because I know different Pokemon look different, and based on their gender or some other stuff. But I also know that especially some of the Pokemon X and Y, some of the bug Pokemon, and there's a dog Pokemon that have different patterns, which I think is cool. It makes it a little bit more unique.
I know they did a little bit of that, for sure by Black and White, but I think they had that in Diamond and Pearl too. Yeah, there was a fish Pokemon. I know there's lots of them. I'm being really vague here. But one of them that they introduced, whenever you'd go to your Pokedex thing, and it would say, Type A and Type B, saying, you got one with this pattern and one with this pattern. Doesn't really affect anything other than just how they look.
Yeah.
And Ruby and Sapphire had one Pokemon. It was kind of like that version's Caterpie, Metapod, Butterfree. I can't remember the starting one's name, but then it would get into the second form, which I want to say was Cascoon and Silcoon or something like that. And then the evolutions after that was Beautifly and Dustox. But they start back at the exact same one Pokemon, and it's completely random on what it's going to become.
Yeah, that's neat.
It's like there's some really obscure mathematical formula that there is to determine this that I don't know, and your average player isn't going to know that off the top of their heads.
Yeah. Oh, but anyway, talking about the anime, the only one I really do remember is the first movie. The other movies I can't remember at all.
I remember the second movie, and that's about it.
What was the second movie about?
The second movie took place in the Orange Islands. That was,
oh, okay.
with the three birds.
Yeah.
Jackass captures the first three legendary birds to, and then gets them basically to fight each other, and that awakens Lugia. And you had to work with Lugia to get the three birds to stop trying to kill each other and crap, and I don't remember too much besides that.
And then another thing I remember is the damn cards.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Pokemon cards were awesome. Yeah, I remember getting a holographic Charizard. I don't really know where it's at now, but those things are worth so much money now. Those the older cards that we started with. Some of the more rare ones are...
I'll tell you what, you're lucky you got that damn Charizard card, because that was always rare.
Yeah. And
you try to buy that damn thing, it'd be like $500.
Yep.
$500 for a damn card.
Well done.
Could counterfeit that shit for less money than that.
It's irritating. I remember McDonald's having a Pokemon thing too. It was like little golden cards or whatever.
I guess we shifted to the merchandise topic now.
Whatever. I guess you gotta announce it, huh? You can't just shift it naturally.
Well,
have a natural shift.
Unless because otherwise it's gonna be like we're bouncing back and forth between
natural conversation about things.
This is why we can't have a nice podcast.
Can't have a nice thing? Is that what you just told me?
Yes. Yes.
Just can't talk about it. I'll talk about it right now. Having a conversation with you. People are listening to our conversation. Okay, I'm done.
Merchandise.
I like Pokemon cards. It was fun. I like the McDonald's stuff. I love that stuff.
I remembered.
Do you remember the shop in Alton? It was right across the street from the mall, and it had nothing. It had everything to do with Pokemon. It was like Pokemon dolls. There were cards. It was just anime central. It was like the greatest place on earth.
How the hell do you know these places? I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I got it.
I remember the mall. I remember buying a lot of Pokemon crap at the mall, but I don't remember this shop.
Yeah, the shop was obviously the shop doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
But God knows no little small shops exist right now in this area.
That damn mall itself is a depressing place to go to. Have you been in there recently?
Oh yeah.
They got I remember when every single area was filled with a store. Now they're down to 5. Massive mall down to 5 shops.
There's a library. It's 2 levels.
And a library.
The library. I owe a book to them.
But, oh man, I remember all the little games. I remember the little digital Pokedex that they sold.
Oh my
I
god.
remember the little pinball game that they
You had the Pokedex, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes, you did.
I think I still have that stupid thing buried somewhere.
Spoiled little bastards, what you were. You had all the cool shit. My parents never bought me that stuff. But you always had the Pokedex and the Virtual Boy and the damn whatever else that you had. The Legos, the amount of Legos that you had.
The amount of Legos I still have.
Yeah. Sell everything else, can't sell those Legos apparently. That's too much. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to sell those Legos.
I just sell games I know I'm never going to play again.
I would play them eventually.
Anyways, oh god. Oh yeah, the little figurines. I remember Spencer's at one point sold this little Pokeball thing that had a little. It was kind of like a mousetrap thing with how it worked. It had this little trigger that when you bumped it would actually close it shut around a little Pokemon figurine. That was a working Pokeball, basically.
I remember that. Do you remember little pet toppers? Those little, what are they called? Little circular fuckers that were cardboard. What are those called?
Don't know.
Oh my god, what are those
I remember
called?
the little Pikachu virtual pet.
Oh god, the virtual pet. You had that too! You did! You spoiled little child! You had that. I didn't even have that. My parents wouldn't even give me a Tamagotchi.
Well, I never got the first Tamagotchi stuff.
And I wanted a Tamagotchi.
And for the record, I bought most of this crap with my own money. I got an allowance, and I saved that money up to buy this crap. Thank you very much.
I didn't get jack shit. So, and I'm just saying, ow, my finger. I just popped my finger out of place. Oh, this sucks.
Yeah, that's what happens when you start calling me a spoiled little self-entitled brat child.
Well, I'm just saying, oh, I got all these Legos. Oh, I got a Virtual Boy. Oh, I got every little Pokemon little thing known to man.
Not every little thing known to man.
What did the Pokedex have? The one that you bought?
It was just basically an 8-bit version that I think it just showed you the pictures of the Pokemon and maybe gave you the same text and information that the game did. I think it also gave you the Pokemon's weight and height.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who's a bastard? Snorlax. He's a bastard. Number one, I'm pretty sure that's racist. I'm pretty sure he's a racist Pokemon. But...
How? How is he racist?
Just
Explain this to me, please. This should be good.
It's obviously a political view on
Where do you get this stuff from?
Minorities in America and how lazy, supposedly, that people think they are. See, I'm just saying, the white man is bringing down Snorlax. That's what it came down to. You know who was...
in Japan!
You know who... It doesn't matter. You know who was racist, though, was Jinx. That was a racist motherfucker. That was a racist Pokemon, was Jinx.
Are you secretly working for 4Kids or something?
Seriously, did you see Jinx? Do you remember Jinx?
Yes, I remember Jinx. I remember they refused to show the episode... 4Kids! 4Kids, oh my god, if we're going to talk about the anime, we have to bitch about 4Kids. 4Kids was paranoid that Pokemon would corrupt our youth. And they edited out the Jinx episode because Jinx looked black. I'm not joking.
Yeah, he had blackface.
They edited out the episode where, alright, do you remember whenever, after God knows how long, Ash finally went back to Pallet Town and visited Professor Oak and all of his Pokemon that he's captured? And he's got this massive field of Tauroses, and you're going, where the hell did he get those? They edited the episode out. There's an episode where he actually goes to the Safari Zone. They cut it because it had a gun in it.
No, I saw the Safari Zone one. I remember seeing that one.
It's been released, just not officially.
Oh.
You might be thinking of the one with the Kangaskhan.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that one we saw, but then there was one after that, I believe. Where some dude had a gun, and everyone basically went, oh god, think of the children. And I guess there was, I think in the episode there's, probably because of Team Rocket, there were a bunch of Tauroses stampeding around, and Ash's solution was to catch them all. So now Professor Oak has, I guess, the best Pokemon defense with Tauros.
I'm pretty sure Ash Ketchum has got a hoarding problem, or an OCD issue. Because he seriously wanted to, he caught 900 Tauros. What is he going to do with those?
See, this is why I wish I could have seen that episode, because then, well, it's still stupid why he would catch that many, but at least I might sympathize with his reasons a little bit more.
So he's going to let him not be free? He's going to put him in a little area and let him die a slow death? And eventually someone's going to buy him and then cut him up into pieces and have Taurus steak? That's what I'm saying. He did that for a monetary thing. He had to have. Because,
I'm going to make one argument here. It doesn't save the entire herd, but he has at least taken one of those Tauruses out and used it in a battle.
So he's a cheetah? He takes the weak ones from the crowd?
I don't know if it was the weak one or the strong one. All I know is he was like, I'm going to use a Tauros in a battle now. He did that with his Krabby, too. Remember that? Whenever he made it to the Pokemon League for the first time in Indigo Plateau.
Yeah, didn't that Krabby get destroyed by...
That Krabby evolved in the middle of a battle.
That's right. Same for Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur evolved to whatever the hell.
No, Bulbasaur has never evolved.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Are you sure?
His Charmander evolved into Charmeleon. That was the end of the pre-Kids WB episodes.
Oh yeah, that's right. And wouldn't listen to him because he was.
And it still won't listen to him when he evolved into Charizard. And as Charizard, it didn't listen to him until halfway through the next season.
That's right. You got weird memories.
I don't know why I remember some of this crap.
Weird memories. Charizard.
I give up trying to have any structure to this podcast because it's the anime.
It's impossible for me.
It is.
I'm a structuralist. We could talk about Archon. We could talk about that right now. That'd be good.
We've been going for an hour if you want to.
Screw it. We talk about Archon at the last part here.
Alright, Archon. I guess this is a podcast of Pokemon and Archon, and now we're out topics.
Well, I'm just saying, all you could do is you could put a time thing on the comments and say, hey, if you want to hear about what we talked about Archon, go ahead and go to this time frame. And then you could link it. And then, hey, they'll be hearing me talk about me complaining about you not putting a link to the same time frame. And it's just an endless loop. It's an endless loop.
You ride my ass over this stuff about how I need to do annotations and I need to do links. Who's the one doing all the editing work here? Yeah, so shut up.
It's not my fault I work 50 hours a week. Sometimes 60.
Okay. Still, a lot of editing work on its own. People, I want to say something right now. A Let's Play episode is not a very fast process. Because you got the initial time recorded, especially with Dragon Quest, most of those episodes I record almost an hour. Somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes is what I aim for. A lot of times it goes over that. And then I got to cut stuff out. I'm cutting stuff, I'm doing the stat facts, so it takes me longer to edit the episode than it did to record it. And then I gotta get the damn thing uploaded to YouTube. And that can take whoever knows how long. And that also means I got Pray God Char doesn't crap out on me in the middle of the upload. Because it's done that to me. That's also why I don't upload in HD, because those uploads take forever. And then, after that, I gotta make sure, that it's up and working. And then I still have to go in and use YouTube's scrappy system for the annotation linking.
So, Archon.
Yeah, Archon. I didn't feel like recording anything this year. I kind of recorded stuff last year, and let's be honest, if I recorded it again, it would have been the exact same thing. Showing mostly footage at night of people getting drunk and random things happening.
Yeah, it was a different experience. I only got to go one day. It was my first experience at one of those things. And the first thing I want to recognize is the craziness that is these little conventions. It's like everyone under their sun is there. I mean, of all ages. And I'm not just talking about, little kids. I'm talking about there's people that are in their 30s and 40s and 50s.
Which is kind of what we're approaching with the 30s.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. But there's all kinds of people. Everyone has a different experience. And it just, the observations that I made, it just seems to me that everyone knew each other, but no one knew each other at the same time. They just were experiencing the convention, which I thought was really neat.
There's definitely people that I recognize there every year, but I don't really talk to them. I haven't added them on Facebook or anything. It's just, oh hey, it's that guy again.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's another Link character,
Yeah.
It's this.
Well, that Link character I do know.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Yeah, Eric, I met him way back in 2007.
There
are some of these people that you do make lasting friendships with, and there are some that you just kind of see every year, but you don't really interact with. 50-50.
But I didn't expect the amount of walking. There's a lot of walking.
Oh yeah,
we did. And
I'll tell you what, man. Conventions are a workout.
And then they didn't expect that. And I'm used to walking anyway because I'm on my feet. 50 hours, 60 hours a week anyway. But it wasn't excessive. It was just it was strange because I think what happened, what we didn't do, because I was still experiencing all of it, was we didn't do any of the the panels. We didn't see any of the panels.
I almost never go to the panels anyways.
And I think
every now and then I will, like if a friend of mine is hosting one or something.
And I think that was a big thing that I missed. That I wish I would have got to see, and we just never got time. It wasn't your fault or anything. But I think another thing was we went into that hotel, the DoubleTree, and there was just so many people dressed up in so many weird outfits, and we went to the game center to play a game, which the damn Dominion game. Oh my god, I had to buy it. I already told you this, but for anyone that's listening, we played this card game called Dominion, and if anyone doesn't know what that is, go ahead and eBay it now or Amazon, because you'll love it. It's addictive. It was a card game, but we played with two people that I have never met in my entire life, but they were the coolest motherfuckers I have ever met. We just played. It was like we've been playing for years.
Right.
That social barrier to me.
It's gone.
It's gone. It's not there. So I think that was a surprise.
I'll tell you what, man. You have to come to AMA St. Louis.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
Start looking for, it's sometime in March, I think. March or April. I'll let you know when time gets closer, but you'll have to, at the very least, get one day out for that, because I think you'll like that even more, since, that'll be a little bit more familiar territory.
No, I wouldn't say. Now, the only thing, and I'm probably going to insult a lot of people, and you probably don't want me to do this, but the steampunk. Can we stop with the steampunk? I know it's this huge culture, but what the hell? I complained about it at the convention, but seriously.
That's why I think you'll like the Anime St. Louis and that more.
What's the deal with steampunk? What is it? I just don't.
It's just part of sci-fi culture. It's if things had gone more towards steam power instead of shifting towards electricity like we have.
Yeah, I like sci-fi, and I'm a big sci-fi guy anyway. But when I think steampunk, when I think sci-fi, I don't think it's steampunk. I just don't see it. It does not, to me, is the future. It's just that culture, Star Trek, Star Wars.
I see it as primitive technology. Like the birth of it,
And I'm not going to complain about Archon, but for something that's sci-fi, there was a lot more anime stuff, too, than there was.
Well, it's not. It starts off as, sci-fi and that, and someone else made this comment, it's hard for a sci-fi convention to just be sci-fi.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it seemed to me, and maybe just going on here, but it seemed to me that a lot of the cosplay that was going on wasn't really sci-fi.
And let's be honest, Archon is mostly a drinking con than anything. It's a drinking con or the disguise of a sci-fi con.
Oh my god. That guy, I don't know if you were with me or not, but there was a drunk guy, and okay, I can handle my alcohol.
I mean, you?
No. I can handle my alcohol just as well. But this guy apparently had too many, too quick, and he was talking about his ancestors to this hotel worker, some sort of Viking ancestors that he has, and the worker I think she wanted to hang herself right there. I think she wanted to take, and I'm saying, and this is, I read the little Archon rules. This actually, I think, falls into that category. No way you're at. There's people, those workers are not there because they want to listen to you talk about Viking ancestors and everything else. They're there because they just want to serve you beer, get their check at the end of the night, and get the fuck out.
Right.
And I don't think the guy got that. I know that some people are not going to be as aware of it as other people are. But, I mean, there's got to be some general regard to social behavior, even in this kind of situation. It's got to be. Yeah, I don't... That was my complaint. Just a little slight complaint. But I think, and I didn't get to see a lot of, because I had to go because of work, but I didn't get to see a lot of the late night stuff, but when the drinking really started, which I don't think is a part of the Archon thing, the Archon experience.
Oh, it's definitely a part of the Archon experience.
But I don't think it's necessarily a part of the whole thing, that isn't what I'm not there to party. I mean, I've never been a party guy anyway. But, I don't think, I missed out. I think it would have been an experience to witness and enjoy, but I don't think it's something that it would have been integral to the whole experience as a whole.
I think at the very least, come Anime St. Louis, you need to at least stay, try not to yawn, stay through the dances at least, because You'll be surprised the things people change into between day and night.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. Black and white for what they're wearing is completely different. It's like during the day they have these elaborate costumes, or it's this character from this, and then come nighttime and I'm going to piss off a few people, all of a sudden, sluts everywhere.
It's a natural thing. It's a natural stuff. It's like Halloween. It's everyone's excuse to dress inappropriately. Whatever.
Some of them just don't wait until night to start dressing inappropriately.
Yeah. But, I think I got to watch a little bit of the Masquerade. I was able to.
You hated that, though.
It's alright. It was nothing special.
We sat through about half an hour of it, and he was like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, it didn't...
See, I almost never sit through the Masquerade, not even Archons.
It didn't... I don't think it entertained me as much as I thought it was going to. I thought I was going to be able to experience people, their handmade costumes and their skits, and it just didn't... I didn't get to see all of it, obviously, but it just didn't impress to what I thought I was going to. And a lot of it is fandom stuff, they're doing it because they love the stuff, and I understand that. That isn't a problem. But I had more fun experiencing Big Bang Theory than I did The Masquerade. So,
Which is sad, because you can watch that like anytime you want.
Yeah. And I think that was a lot of the issue. The people that held it and the hosts, I thought did a great job. And I thought the stuff was fine. But there's such a... I know there's different classes, new people and pros and stuff like that, but there's such a distinction. Like, it's either just there's this person walking out, and I know this is the whole point of Masquerade's person walking out, then walking in, then walking back out, or there's this skits, or it's random shit like someone lip syncing because they don't allow you to do by the mic stuff anymore.
Yeah, it all has to be pre-recorded.
But I know it's a big part of the anime conventions at night, and I just did not. It was alright, but I think what's cool is they really expand the whole convention over their console with the hotel. And I think that's a good thing of the hotel, and obviously they've been going through. You told me that they went through a couple hardships here and there.
Yeah. There's a bit of history with Archon and what is now the Doubletree. It used to be something else, I forget what. And the state itself, Illinois, used to not crack down on Archon too much. And then a couple years ago, basically the owner of the previous hotel got arrested because he'd been embezzling money. Yeah. He was stealing money from he was stealing, profit for himself and not being accurate with the checkbooks and all that. Got in trouble. Lost control over the hotel, and it got bought out as a Doubletree. And the people that bought it out were like, we're going to be classy. We don't want these commoners in our hotel. I'm exaggerating, obviously. But, long story short, they basically told Archon, so we don't like you having your room parties. We don't like you having your dances here. We don't want you to trash the renovation job we're doing. People were upset just from the renovations being made to the hotel. People that had been going to Archon for years looked at what was happening. They said, just flat out, this doesn't feel like home anymore, basically. And that year was just terrible. There were no room parties. We barely had a dance. Everything was forced to shut down early. So the following year, it took place at Westport Plaza, which I thought was a great venue, but not everyone agrees with me on that. I thought it was an interesting environment, but the actual hotel itself was kind of boring. I think the most interesting hotel I've been at for a convention was in St. Charles. I can't remember the name of the hotel, but it was really big and it was at least 2-3 stories and very wide. Had a nice dining area. I'm still seeking basically the perfect combination of a giant hotel / convention center to hold everything in, and then immediately right by that, just a bunch of eateries and places to do right outside.
Well, I think a lot of problem about Collinsville is it's number one. It's so hilly. It's hard to maneuver. The roads are really crazy where they go. There's no direct route to anything.
Right.
And yeah, and I'm sure they realized how.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't finish the story. Just one last bit. Obviously, it came back because everyone was threatening to sue the DoubleTree for loss of profits. So they're stuck with us.
Yeah. And I think that just shows you the amount of money that stuff can bring in.
I'll tell you what, nerds in a massive gathering are loaded.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
The dealer's room alone, you got lucky that you did not just basically lose your wallet there.
Yeah.
There are people that walk into the dealer's room, they walk back out, and all of a sudden they're wondering where their money went. And where all these bags of merchandise came from.
Yeah,
I made that mistake my first year at ASIN.
I'm a little tighter with my money than most people are, of course, but I thought, I could have went into that dealer room and I could have just absolutely bought everything. When I stood at that Magic the Gathering section with all the cars for like freaking 30 minutes just going through. And then, there was the area with the damn glasses, the etched glass I thought was awesome.
If they had a shot glass, you would have bought one.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt, I would have been buying 2 or 3 of them. And that's that kind of thing. Is that there was something for everyone. I felt bad because I really wanted to find something, and I never did. I never got a chance. We just ran out of time. I wanted to find something like a book, like an author was selling outside in the main halls. And I wanted to buy it just to see something that I talked to the person that actually made it, and I got to buy it and experience it. Something new that I never read about, never heard about, and I never got it. And I was a little pissed off with myself that I didn't do that. So.
Well, there's always Anime St. Louis in that where you'll get plenty of chances to do that. Oh God, if you ever make up to ASIN, there's lots of webcomic authors that come up there with their books in full print that you can buy up there.
ASIN. But no, I relatively the experience was good. It didn't drive me away. Didn't say, "Hey, oh my God, I'm not gonna go to another one of those things." I think, and I know for a fact that it's a little different because the price was so high. Was because of how
Archon is expensive. Anime St. Louis and ASIN aren't. Well, ASIN is expensive to get up there, but the price to get in itself is pretty standard. Most conventions are usually like somewhere between $40 to $50 for a 3-day pass, which 3 days is not bad.
Man, I spent $45 on a 1 day, but I understand me only being able to get a 1 day that they're probably going to hike the price up slightly. Right. And there are some people that pre-order that get it a lot cheaper.
Oh yeah, if you pre-order the second they start with that, I think if you had pre-ordered, it would have only been $30. I think.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
That's reasonable to me. It's just the 45 I thought was a little rough. Especially for what you experience. I mean, you got panels for that day, but you got a lot of walking around and you got a lot of purchasing. And that's, I think, the strangest thing to me is that you buy something to go purchase stuff.
Right.
So, I mean, and the good thing about what Archon did is, they give you free beer and free soda and everything else, and there's that comfortableness that comes with that, in that they provide the game room like they did, and they provide the little parties. So I wouldn't say I didn't think I got the value out of it. But, I'm a little half and half still with it, because I'm probably just not used to going to them.
Like I said, anything Louis, I think, would help you form a stronger opinion.
Yeah, of course.
Alright, I think we're out of stuff to talk about, and we're up to almost an hour and a half, if you can believe that.
Yeah, you can probably split this into 2 podcasts,
I might do that, I'm not sure yet.
Because we did talk about Archon for like 30 minutes. I snuck that in there on you. Slightly. I had to talk about it. I had to get it off my chest. Not my fault.
It's totally your fault.
What are you
talking about?
You pushed me into that conversation. Just saying.
Sure I did.
I want to play some damn Fortune Street.
Alright, well, I can end this and we can do that.
Yeah, we could do that. That'd be cute.
Alright, guys, we're gonna go and play Fortune Street. If you've enjoyed the do you want to do the outro or should I?
What?
Outro for the podcast. You want to do it or should I?
Well, you were starting and then you just stopped it, but I could start it again.
Because I know I don't always have guests, so I figured I should let you do this.
Am I still a guest? Did you still put me as a guest?
Guest? What do you want me to call you, partner?
Guest. You put me as a guest.
What would you like to be referred to as then, sir?
Guest. I'm a guest. I'm a... Okay. Like... I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not gonna go into it. Hurt my feelings.
Mind you, what you are.
Hurt my feelings. Why? What?
Are you gonna do the outro or should I?
What's the outro?
Ugh. Sometimes I think I'm gonna get a headache working with you. You know that?
I think I'm good at it, personally.
Ugh.
I think I keep you in line.
So guys, if you've enjoyed this part, I'm just gonna cut him off here. If you've enjoyed, obviously, us bickering, if you enjoyed us nostalging over Pokemon and talking a bit about that, as well as hearing ImperialSalsa's first experience with a convention, please subscribe to us. Give us a thumbs up, we'd very much appreciate that. Share it with your friends, and we will see you guys later.
I think that's why you don't get as many subscribers as you should.
What?
It's not an enthusiast. You didn't, you gotta, it's like customer experience in retail. You know, you gotta make sure that they come back because they had a great experience with you.
Yes.
Okay, so what should I do to improve that?
Well, number one, I told you need to advertise.
Oh my god.
You need to start.
I do the annotations. I've been putting up links. I need to update my link list on YouTube.
Your link list sucks, by the way. I don't know
Shut
about
up.
that. I just want to say that.
Besides the advertising, what else?
Wonderful.
I don't know. I'm just trying to extend this as long as I can.
Great.
And on that note, we're done.
Wonderful. Wonderful. You were close. Wonderful. You were close. Welcome back. Yes.